Hi everyone, glad to see you again. Today I have something informative lined up for you. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Stay safe online, cyber defense. But in today's hyper-connected world, it's less a warning and more a reality. Gone are the days when bulky tape recorders and hidden microphones were the tools of the surveillance trade. Today, our phones are the eavesdroppers. They capture our every word, whisper and sigh. But how much of this is paranoia, and how much is cold, hard fact? The truth is, the line between our private conversations and government or corporate access is blurrier than ever. Advanced technology allows for mass data collection on a scale unimaginable just a few decades ago. This means our calls, once considered sacrosanct, are now potential targets for interception and analysis. In this essay, we'll explore the unsettling truth about phone surveillance, its impact on our lives, and what we can do to protect ourselves. The convenience of modern technology comes with a hidden cost. Our smartphones, which we rely on for almost everything, are also the perfect tools for surveillance. Every app we download, every permission we grant opens a new window into our private lives. Notifications, location tracking, and even our voice commands can be monitored and recorded. Voice assistants, while convenient, are always listening, waiting for their wake word, but sometimes capturing more than we intend. It's not just the government we need to worry about. Corporations are equally interested in our data. The terms and conditions we often skip through give companies the right to collect and use our data in ways we might not fully understand. So, what can we do to protect ourselves? Using encryption, VPNs, and being mindful of the permissions we grant can help. It's about taking control of our digital lives and being aware of the potential risks. While we may never achieve complete privacy, we can take steps to safeguard our personal information. In the end, it's about finding a balance between convenience and security and making informed choices about how we use our technology. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the world of phone surveillance and uncover the steps you can take to protect your privacy. Remember those old spy movies with clunky wiretaps, where agents would huddle around bulky equipment, trying to catch snippets of conversations? And those scenes where they would listen in on crackling phone lines, hoping to gather crucial information from the static-filled ether? Those days are long gone, replaced by a new era of digital surveillance that is both more advanced and more pervasive. Today's surveillance technology is far more sophisticated and insidious, operating in ways that would have seemed like science fiction just a few decades ago. Forget physically tapping a line. Now it's all about intercepting data as it flows through the digital ether, capturing information at the speed of light. Think about it. Every time you make a call, send a text, or even just browse the internet, you leave a digital trail. This trail is a goldmine of information, revealing not just your communications but your habits, preferences, and even your location. This trail, packed with metadata and often the content of our communications, is ripe for the picking. Metadata can reveal who you talk to, when and for how long, painting a detailed picture of your daily life. Governments employ powerful surveillance programs with names like PRISM and X-Keyscore, capable of vacuuming up vast quantities of data, including phone records. These programs can analyze and cross-reference data to uncover patterns and connections that would be impossible to detect manually. And it's not just governments. Corporations, private investigators, and even cybercriminals have access to sophisticated tools that can monitor and analyze digital communications. From targeted advertising to industrial espionage, the uses of this data are as varied as they are concerning. As we continue to integrate technology into every aspect of our lives, the line between convenience and surveillance becomes increasingly blurred. Every app we download, every social media post we make, and every online purchase we complete adds another layer to the digital profile that can be monitored and analyzed. The evolving landscape of phone surveillance raises important questions about privacy, security, and the balance of power in the digital age. As individuals, we must be aware of the potential for surveillance and take steps to protect our personal information. By using secure communication methods, being mindful of the information we share, and advocating for stronger privacy protections, we can navigate this complex landscape and safeguard our digital lives. Governments around the world have enacted laws that grant them broad surveillance powers, often in the name of national security or fighting terrorism. In the United States, the Patriot Act, passed after the 9/11 attacks, significantly expanded the government's ability to collect data on its citizens, including phone records. Similar legislation exists in many countries, raising concerns about potential overreach and abuse. The problem is, these laws are often shrouded in secrecy, making it difficult to hold governments accountable for their surveillance practices. The legal framework governing phone surveillance is complex and constantly evolving, leaving many individuals feeling powerless and vulnerable. It's not just governments we need to worry about. Private companies, from tech giants to shadowy data brokers, are also collecting and analyzing our phone data. These companies gather information about our calls, contacts, and even our location, often without our explicit consent. This data is valuable for targeted advertising, but it can also be used for more nefarious purposes. In the wrong hands, it can be used to manipulate, exploit, or even silence individuals. Imagine a world where your phone calls are used against you in a court of law, or where your most private conversations are sold to the highest bidder. Real lives, real surveillance, chilling examples of phone monitoring. The consequences of unchecked phone surveillance are not hypothetical. They're playing out in real time. Take the case of Jamal Khashoggi, the Saudi journalist murdered in 2018. Evidence suggests that his phone was hacked using sophisticated spyware, allowing Saudi agents to track his movements and intercept his communications. This chilling example highlights the very real dangers of phone surveillance. It's not just about protecting our privacy, it's about protecting our freedom of speech, our right to dissent, and even our lives. Privacy under siege. The erosion of our right to confidential communication. The right to privacy is a fundamental human right, enshrined in international law and numerous national constitutions. It is a cornerstone of democratic societies, ensuring that individuals can express themselves without fear of unwarranted intrusion. This right is not just about keeping secrets, it is about maintaining our dignity and autonomy. However, the pervasiveness of phone surveillance represents a direct assault on this right. With the advent of advanced technology, our private communications are more vulnerable than ever. Governments and corporations have unprecedented access to our personal data, often without our knowledge or consent. This constant monitoring undermines the very essence of privacy. When we can no longer have a private conversation without fear of being monitored, our ability to communicate freely and openly is severely compromised. This fear of surveillance forces us to self-censor, to hold back our true thoughts and feelings. It creates an atmosphere of suspicion and paranoia, where every word we say could be used against us. This erosion of privacy has a chilling effect on society as a whole. It discourages people from participating in public discourse, from engaging in political activism, and from standing up for their rights. When privacy is compromised, the very fabric of our society begins to unravel. We become isolated, disconnected, and fearful. It breeds mistrust, stifles dissent, and creates an environment of fear and self-censorship. In such an environment, innovation and creativity are stifled, as people are less likely to take risks or think outside the box. The free exchange of ideas, which is essential for progress, is severely hindered. When we feel like we're constantly being watched, we're less likely to speak our minds, challenge authority, or engage in open and honest dialogue. This pervasive sense of surveillance not only affects our personal lives, but also has profound implications for our democracy. A society that cannot communicate freely is a society that cannot function effectively. It is imperative that we take action to protect our right to confidential communication, to ensure that our voices can be heard without fear of retribution. The illusion of consent, how corporations cash in on our conversations. Many argue that we consent to surveillance when we use technology. After all, we agree to those lengthy terms and conditions, right? But let's be honest, who actually reads those walls of text? The reality is, most of us click agree without a second thought, blindly accepting whatever data harvesting practices are hidden within the fine print. This is not true consent, it's exploitation. Companies know we're not likely to scrutinize their every move, so they bury their surveillance practices in legalese and hope we won't notice. Fighting back. reclaiming our digital privacy in the age of surveillance. The good news is, it's not a lost cause. There are steps we can take to protect our privacy and reclaim our digital lives. We can start by educating ourselves about the different types of surveillance techniques and the laws governing them. Knowledge is power, and understanding the threats we face is the first step in combating them. We can also support organizations fighting for digital rights and privacy. Groups like the Electronic Frontier Foundation, EFF, and the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, are on the front lines, challenging government overreach and advocating for stronger privacy protections. Thanks for watching and learning with me. Drop a comment below if you have any questions or suggestions for future videos. I value your feedback. Cyber Defense.